Welcome to this overview of New York State's sexual harassment prevention training requirements. I'm New York State Labor Commissioner Roberta Reardon. New York State is a national leader in the fight against sexual harassment in the workplace, and new legislation has been signed to further combat it. Today, we will review the recent changes in the law and what they mean for employers across the state. There are three important pieces we're going to discuss today: your company's sexual harassment policy, annual training for employees, and a required notice to employees. Under new laws, every employer in New York State is required to establish a sexual harassment prevention policy and provide it to workers. This includes public and private employers for exempt or non-exempt employees, part-time workers, seasonal workers, and temporary workers, regardless of immigration status. In addition, every employer in New York State is required to provide employees with annual sexual harassment prevention training. The following items are all available online at www.ny.gov/programs/combating-sexual-harassment-workplace. Minimum standards for employers' sexual harassment prevention policies and trainings. Toolkits with step-by-step instructions for employers. Model sexual harassment prevention policy. This policy is considered the minimum standard requirement, and businesses may choose to adopt it as is or use as a basis to establish their own policy. All policies must meet the minimum standards laid out in the model policy. Model sexual harassment complaint form. Model training, script book and PowerPoint presentation. FAQs. Model notice. This is what the website looks like. When you scroll down the page, there is information specific to employers and workers and FAQs. When you click on those categories, you'll be brought to all of the information and related documents. Policy. The Department of Labor, in consultation with the Division of Human Rights, has established a model sexual harassment prevention policy for employers to adopt, available at ny.gov/programs/combating-sexual-harassment-workplace. Or employers may adopt a similar policy that meets or exceeds the minimum standards of the model policy. The policy must, 1. Prohibit sexual harassment consistent with guidance issued by the Department of Labor in consultation with the Division of Human Rights. 2. Provide examples of prohibited conduct that would constitute unlawful sexual harassment. 3. Include information concerning the federal and state statutory provisions concerning sexual harassment, remedies available to victims of sexual harassment, and a statement that there may be applicable local laws. The policy must, 4. Include a complaint form. 5. Include a procedure for the timely and confidential investigation of complaints that ensures due process for all parties. 6. Inform employees of their rights of redress and all available forums for adjudicating sexual harassment complaints administratively and judicially. The policy must, 7. Clearly state that sexual harassment is considered a form of employee misconduct, and that sanctions will be enforced against individuals engaging in sexual harassment and against supervisory and managerial personnel who knowingly allow such behavior to continue. And 8. Clearly state that retaliation against individuals who complain of sexual harassment or who testify or assist in any investigation or proceeding involving sexual harassment is unlawful. Training. An employer that does not use this model training, developed by the State Department of Labor and State Division of Human Rights, must ensure their training meets or exceeds the following minimum standards. The training must include an explanation of sexual harassment consistent with guidance issued by the Department of Labor in consultation with the Division of Human Rights. Include examples of unlawful sexual harassment. Include information concerning the federal and state statutory provisions concerning sexual harassment and remedies available to victims of sexual harassment. Include information concerning employees' rights of redress and all available forums for adjudicating complaints, and include information addressing conduct by supervisors and additional responsibilities for supervisors. The Department of Labor, in consultation with the Division of Human Rights, has established this model training for employers to use, or employers may use a training program that meets or exceeds the minimum standards of the model training. An employer's sexual harassment prevention training must be interactive, meaning it requires some level of participation or feedback by those being trained. You may execute this training in a variety of ways, including live in person, via webinar, or on an individual basis, with feedback as outlined in the training guidance document. Depending on how you choose to present the training, you may utilize different available resources. For example, if you do a live presentation, you should download the PowerPoint and read the script that appears in the notes of each slide. If you choose to train employees with the video, you may direct them to watch it online or download it and show it to a group, after which you would provide them a mechanism for feedback, as outlined in the training guidance document. The state's model training is presented in a variety of formats, giving employers maximum flexibility to deliver the training across a variety of worksite settings while still maintaining a core curriculum. Available training elements include 1. Script for in-person group training, available in PDF and editable Word formats. 2. PowerPoint to accompany the script, available online and for download. 3. Video presentation, viewable online and for download. 4. FAQs, available online. This training is meant to be a model that can be used as is or adapted to meet the specific needs of each organization. If specific employer or industry policies or practices differ from the content in this training, the training should be modified to reflect those nuances, while still including all of the minimum elements required by the New York State law. The training should detail any internal process employees are encouraged to use to complain and include the contact information for the specific names and offices with which employees alleging harassment should file their complaints. To every extent possible, this training should be given consistently across each business's workforce to ensure understanding at every level and at every location. Employers should provide employees with training in the language that is spoken by their employees. Notice: every employee in New York State must receive a sexual harassment prevention notice at the time of hiring and during their annual sexual harassment training. This notice must contain 1. Your sexual harassment policy, and 2. The information presented at the sexual harassment prevention training. You must provide employees with this notice, policy, and training information in English, and in an employee's primary language if it is Spanish, Chinese, Korean, Polish, Russian, Haitian Creole, Bengali, or Italian. Model templates are available online. For additional information, visit www.ny.gov/programs/combating-sexual-harassment-workplace.